Hello and welcome to this Practice Better webinar, part 2, Getting Started Working with Clients. In this webinar, we'll go beyond some of the foundational features and settings and dive a little deeper into getting started on Practice Better. I'll be reviewing how you can easily work with clients over time through packages, how to set up payment plans and memberships, how to create a custom booking page to share with clients, how to securely chat with clients through Practice Better, and more. So let's dive in and start with how to create a package to share with your clients. So in part 1, we talked about creating services, and services are offerings. These are what your clients are going to book with you. So if you offer, say, a free discovery call, your initial consultation, these are all things that are going to be booked appointments that need to be made. Now, a lot of you work with clients over time, say 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and you would like to bundle some of these services into a package so that you don't have to manually track how many sessions your clients have left and what types of sessions. I know some practitioners are using spreadsheets to try to manage all of that. So with Practice Better, it's all going to be managed for you to help you really save time and make it a great experience for your clients. So if we go up here to packages, you can see that I already have some made, which I'm going to show you one of these. But again, with this red button, you're going to see this on various pages. And if you're ever looking, to take an action on that page, you can click on the red button. On this page, my options are I can add a service or I can add a package. So I'm going to show you a package that I already created, and we're going to add some services to the package. So this is my 6-month optimize package. And in the description, this is what the package is going to include. So you can include services. You do not have to put services in your package, but you can see here, this package is going to include 10 services and 3 different service types. It's also going to include a nutritional support supplement bundle, 4 live group yoga and meditation classes that I'm going to run through Practice Better, enrollment in my Nutrition for Life 8-week challenge, and access to the client portal. So everything in this description. So when you add a fee to your package, that's what it's going to include. So regardless of the fees, if you do have fees attached to these services, they'll be overridden by the fee that you have in your package. Now, I have it set up so that clients, if they want to pay in full, they can use this coupon code and receive 15% off. So you could do a dollar amount off, you could do a percentage off. But because I have a payment plan set up, I want to offer people who would like to pay the $3,500 upfront a discount to pay that upfront. So for this payment, for this package, I have, because I'm on the team plan, so if you're on the Practice Better Pro plan, Plus plan, or team plan, you would be able to offer ongoing payments or a fixed fee, and then you could set up a payment plan. So this is more like if you're going to do a membership where they just pay a certain amount every month versus a fixed fee where I can collect a deposit, which might be, higher than, the first month might be a little higher, and then there'll be installment payments. So we'll take a look at that here in a few minutes. So here I have a fee for this package, $3,500. I am going to require that they pay at booking, and you'll see they can either pay the $3,500 and then use this coupon code, or they can pay the deposit, and then they'll just pay the installment. They can choose either or. So all right, so here I have, so this package has an expiration date. This is optional. So this expiration date after the 6 months, if they had any outstanding sessions to book this, they wouldn't be able to book those. So if you're looking to kind of keep your clients on track and you want them to get all of their sessions in, you can put an expiration date. Now, even if you do put an expiration date, you can always go into their package later and change that. So a lot of these settings, you're able to go and change those after the fact. Like if your client went on an extended vacation or ended up, they were really sick or something. So here I am setting a package monthly booking limit of 2 sessions per month. I don't want them to book all 10 sessions with me in a month. So now this is the important part with the package is you want to add sessions to the package. So my clients are with this package, they're going to get 1 initial consultation. I am not going to allow them to book this right at the time of purchase because I do have some pretty robust paperwork or intake forms that I want them to fill out. So I don't want them to book this too soon because I want them to, take some time filling out my intake forms and my assessments and things like that. So, but you can, depending on how you have your booking settings set up, like how much lead time you need, you can allow them to book this right at the time that they purchase the package. So let's go in, we're going to add 3 of the 60 minutes. And I'm going to add 6 of these. And then one more thing, I'm going to add the group session, the yoga and meditation class, and they're going to get 4 of those. And then once you get all your services in your package, you can like move these around. If you click and drag, you can move these around. So this is the order that it's going to, when they go to purchase the package on the description page, this is kind of the order that it's going to be in. So this is actually the order that I want it to be in. So I'm going to leave it as it is. Now I also added in one of my evergreen programs. And again, because I'm on the team plan, evergreen programs are available with the Plus plan and higher. So I do have some evergreen programs set up. We're going to talk about those here in a bit. So when they purchase this package, they're automatically going to be enrolled in my Nutrition for Life 8-week challenge. And so that saves me time from having to think about like, oh, did I enroll them in this program after they purchase the package? They'll just automatically be enrolled. And then over the next 8 weeks, they're going to have a module that opens every week and will drip content. So they'll get a video, they'll get handouts, recipes, it just really sort of offloads a lot of the education that I have to do with my clients so that when I am in my one-on-one sessions with them, I can really focus on my coaching and consultations, and then all of the kind of educational part of it. Well, not all of it, but a lot of it is sort of they're learning throughout each week in between our sessions together. So now if we scroll back up here, we go to advanced options. You can see that, again, the total fee for this package is $3,500, but I want to offer a payment plan. So you can actually have several different options, but I'm just going to have one option payment plan. So here I'm asking that they pay a $1,500 deposit. So that's what they would pay up front if they chose the payment plan. And then I am going to allow them to pay the remaining amount, the $2,000 in installment payments. So there would be $2,000 left. And if they're going to pay $500, I'm going to schedule that first one a month after they paid this. And then the remaining $500 each month, which is going to be every month. So you could do, weekly, monthly, daily, weekly, monthly. And then you can put a time in that's not mandatory. So once you set up the payment plan, you can come over here and preview the payments so I can see if they purchase this today, how much the deposit would be, and then how much they would pay each month. And that looks perfect to me, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So that is how you can set up a payment. And then this is what you want the display fee. So I'm going to say I need to change that. 1,500 deposit and then 4 installment payments. So if we click on Save Changes, we could actually go in and see what it would look like. So if I click on the 3 dots and go to Share Link, this is the link that you want to copy. So you can click on Copy. If you have, say you're promoting this on your website, on a sales page, or in an email newsletter, wherever you want, where you have a button or a hyperlink where your clients would click to go to purchase that package, this is the link that you want to grab. So I'm going to click, if you want to see what that page would look like, you can click on Visit Page, and then you can see here what the description is. You can see that I wanted to focus on the payment plan, even though they can choose to pay in full and use this coupon code. But this is what I wanted the display fee to say here. So it's one program. There's 14 sessions. Now, 4 of those are group sessions. That was the yoga and meditation. So then you can see here, this is the order that I had those services in. And then they would come in here, they would put their first name, last name, they would fill out this information, and then the next page is where they would choose if they wanted the payment plan or to pay in full, and then they would put their credit card information in. So that is how you can send clients directly to a package. So I'm going to actually be showing you how to set up a custom booking page, and I just want you to understand that if you want to send clients, whether again through an email, through your website, through social media, if you want to send them to only one service or one package, you don't need a booking page. Okay, so if you're just wanting to send, like if you're promoting your free discovery call on your website, you can always just go to the 3 dots and click on Share Link, and then get this link and embed it behind, in a hyperlink or behind a button. Same thing with the package. So I could come over here and say Share Link and do the same thing. The only time you need a booking page is if you're trying to bundle multiple services and packages and if you are running programs, if you're trying to bundle those together on one page, that is when you would need a custom booking page. So just to take a look at that, now you always have your public booking page link. So this link right here, this is going to include any service package or program that's marked as public. So it's just going to have everything. So most practitioners, they don't always want to just have all of their services and packages available for everybody to see. So that's where the custom pages come in handy. So if you want to do a custom page, you would just click on Add Page. I'm going to show you one that I already set up. This is my website booking page. So this is the page that I have attached to my website. So if I click on Edit, I came in here and I just have, this is an internal name, so I know myself what this booking page is. At the top of the page, it's going to say book an appointment. Now you can put in a nice welcome message, letting people know that you're excited to work with them, anything about, like if you have a in-person practice, like where they need to park or just anything like that. And then here, if you have a lot of products, they're called products in here. So a product is either a service package or program. If you have a lot of them, then you probably don't want to display the full descriptions because then it's going to be a really long page. You can just display excerpts, and then clients can just click on the more button to see more of the description. So you'll see what that looks like. Here, you can, if you want to send people back to your website or to an Instagram page or wherever, this is optional, but if you want to have a redirect URL after they book something on this page, they can be redirected back to your website. Or, if you have a Facebook group that you're trying to get people to sign up for, whatever you want, you can put that in here. You can always change it at any time. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like down here. So I chose to add categories. So if I click on this button, you see that you can add category, products, or you can add a bookmark. So a bookmark is just a link that could be to your website. It's just going to be right there on the booking page. So I chose you do not have to use categories, but categories are a way to, segment. So I just have new clients and then existing clients. So I added the categories. Then you'll see in the category, add product. So product is the service, package, or program. So for new clients, the only thing I want them to book is my discovery call. So that's the only thing I added there. Existing clients, they can book if they're coming to my website, then they're going to see, they could, technically book another discovery call, but if they've already had that, they're really going to just come and, say, hey, I'm already an existing client. These are the options that I have. If they're already in the portal, they're probably going to be booking sessions with you through the portal. So they're not necessarily going to come back to your website to, link over to your booking page. It really just depends on your process and how often people are going to your website to link over to, excuse me, to your booking page. So once you get the products in here, you can kind of move them around. You can delete them. You can move your categories around. But this is just a great way to organize your services and packages that you want to see on different things. So you might have one custom booking page that you use for your website, and then maybe you have another custom page that you're promoting through Instagram, that you're sending out the link through your social media or through an email that you're sending out. So let's save the changes. And then here's where you can say get link. So this again is the link, similar to a service or a package. You can just get the link. And this is what you're going to share with your clients. So if I click on visit page, you can see that we have new clients and existing clients. So if this new client section was lengthy, I could click on existing clients and it would just take me down. So it would like scroll down to that section. But because there's only one service here, it's not that far down. But you can see new clients. I have my discovery call and then existing clients. Some of these descriptions are a little bit more lengthy. So if I click on read more, then they can see that. But if I had the full descriptions on all of these, it would be quite a lengthy page. So that is what a custom page looks like. Now, if you want to use a booking widget, this is, it's going to look very similar to this, but it's going to be embedded on your website or wherever you want to, wherever you can embed a widget. Perhaps you have a web person that could help you with this, but you can always come down here and select. So I made this my website booking page, custom page. I could click on that. And then this is what I'm going to paste in the widget on my website. So the only difference is when they click they go to your website, maybe you have a page that you are going to have this, basically it's going to look like this, but it'll be right in your website. So they're not going to click a button that takes them to another tab or another page. They're just going to like stay on your website. So that's something to explore. You have the option to just do a page or to do a widget. Those are the two options that you have. You can do a little customization of that. But you can see here that I have several different booking pages. Sometimes you may not be using them anymore, so you can delete them, but that is the custom booking pages. So, excuse me. Okay, so now how do you book sessions for your clients? So if you're on the phone or you have somebody in person, there's several different ways that you could go ahead and book sessions for your clients. So you could come over here. You can always, from the home page, if you click on the red button, these are all the things you can do right from the home page. Book a session, create a task, send forms, send invoices, or send a secure message. So if I click on book session, I'm going to click myself. Then I'm going to select one of my clients. Now, when you go to book a session for a client, it's going to ask you, do you want to book from one of their packages that they already have? Or do you want to book a different service outside of the package? So let's go ahead and book from Addie's 6-month package. So if I click on that, it shows that she hasn't booked anything yet. So she has 10 sessions remaining. So let's go ahead and book that initial consultation. So we are going to, let's just pick a date and then we're going to put a time. Now, because this is an initial consultation, I'm just going to add a buffer time of 30 minutes after this so that I can get all my notes and everything finished right after my session with her. I would like to do this online by online video chat. I'm going to use Practice Better. I currently don't have Zoom. I think I disconnected it, but I had Zoom connected before. So if you had Zoom on here and you wanted to use that, you could. And as I mentioned in part 1, Zoom, a lot of practitioners will use Practice Better for just one-to-one telehealth, and then they connect Zoom if they're doing group sessions. So you saw that I had the yoga and meditation. I'm actually doing that over Zoom, so I have to reconnect my Zoom here. But for this session, because it's one-on-one and I want it to be HIPAA compliant, Practice Better telehealth, it's very similar to Zoom. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to mark the session confirmed because Addie is standing here in my office and she's already confirmed that this is the date and time she's going to be there. If I didn't check that, she would get a message asking her to confirm the date and time. But I trust Addie, so I'm going to actually confirm this, and then I'm going to hit schedule. And I could go ahead. I'm not going to create an invoice because she already paid for the package, but I could go ahead and get my notes started. So if I wanted to create notes for this session, I'm going to pick a template. So I'm going to select my initial consultation session notes. And so even though I'm not going to go in here and complete this today, at least I have the notes ready. And I may go in here and add a few notes before the session, but you can see here that this note is linked to this August 18th initial consultation session. So if you click on unlink, it'll just unlink it from this session, but you could still take your notes in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this. I'm just going to save and exit. So don't if you don't want to lock it, so if you click sign and save, that's going to just lock the note. So if you haven't already typed up your notes yet, do not click that one. That's kind of when you're all finished. And a lot of practitioners don't need to sign off on their notes, but based on your license and scope of practice, you may need to sign off on your notes. But for our cases today, let's just click on save and exit. Okay, so that is one way to book a session. I just want to show you a couple other ways. So if you're on your calendar, okay, so you can see all the different sessions that I had this week, you can go ahead and just book a session right on the calendar. So if I come over here and let's say I wanted to book Addie for this afternoon, right at 4:30, I'm going to click on the calendar. So when you click on the calendar, you can see that it selected it right here. So that's just a quick way to pick a time that you want to. So now we're going to book Addie today, and I'm going to book without one of her package. She just really needs a quick 30-minute follow-up with me. So I'm going to click on the 30 minutes. And now you can change the time here, but I clicked on the 4:30 because that's the time that I wanted. It's 30 minutes. I'm not going to add a buffer time. She's actually going to come into my office. So I'm just going to leave in person. I'm going to mark this confirmed since I know she's on the phone. She's going to be here in a couple of minutes. I'm going to go ahead and just schedule that. And then I could create notes for this session, but this is a great way. I love just coming to the calendar and just doing it, just scheduling it right from the calendar. So I could go into next week and I could just say, Wednesday at 1 o'clock. I could click there and then schedule, whoever I need to schedule. And another way, if we go back here, see if I go over to Mary Smith. So when you're in a client file and you want to schedule an appointment from here, you could just either click on the red button and say book a session. You can come into booking and packages. So if you want to see what packages your client has, you can come in here and view the packages that they have. And once you're in here, you can book sessions right from that package. You can invite your client if they are kind of running behind and they need to get their sessions in, you can invite them to book. So they'll get a message to book a session for this package. So you can do all of these actions from right here. But if you want to just go ahead and book a session right from the client file, you would just come into bookings and you would go to book a session. And then I'm going to just book without a package. And then I'm going to do a follow-up 60-minute. And then you would just go ahead and book like we did before. But I'm not going to go through all that right now. So there's different options and you'll kind of get into a flow on what works for you. If I book for clients, I just love to do it right from my calendar, but some people like to do it from within the client file, and whatever works best for you, that's the way you should just stick with that process. All right. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you related to bookings is in your settings. If we go to all settings and preferences, and then we go to, let's see, sorry, bookings and cancellations. Okay, so here, this is, if you're on the Pro plan, or if you're on any paid plan, so Starter, Pro, Plus, Team, you're able to send up to 3 session notifications. If you're on our Sprout plan, you have 1 notification. But when you first start, you will only have 1 notification in here. So you want to come into your bookings and cancellations if you haven't already done this, and you can add up to 3. So you see that I have 3 here. So I like to do have them get 2 days before, 1 day before, and then 1 hour before. So this 2 days before, this is just an email only. So depending on, again, what plan you're on, you do get, like with the Pro plan, you do get text SMS reminders. You can purchase credits for those. And then if you're on the Plus plan or higher, you do get a certain amount of text included in that plan to send text reminders. So I just do email only for this one, and then text and email for this. And then you can, so here, if you just did text only, it would send an email if the text couldn't be delivered. And then you could also choose to get a reminder yourself. So you're always going to have access to see, all of your upcoming bookings. So I actually don't like to get these reminders, so I'm going to uncheck that. Let me take a look in here, because then I'm just getting like too many reminders. It's really up to you, but a lot of practitioners do turn that off, because if you come here, like, you're going to see all of your upcoming sessions. They're going to be on your schedule. So you may want to have those reminders in the beginning, but then you can turn those off whenever you wanted to. But I just wanted to let you know that you can set up to 3 reminders, and then in your services, like let's say for an initial consultation, if I scroll down to the bottom, I can either say use the default reminders from the bookings and cancellations. So those are the notifications that we were just looking at. Or if I uncheck that, I can change, maybe for the initial consult, maybe I want to remind them 3 days before for some reason. You could just override those defaults in the actual service itself. But I like to just use the defaults for those. All right. So now let's take a look at another thing. So as you're onboarding your clients, as you start to use Practice Better, you're going to start to develop somewhat of an onboarding process for your own clients. So even though when a client activates their account in Practice Better, they do get a welcome video from Practice Better. It's just a general video about the portal and navigating the portal. But ultimately, it's a really good idea to create your own video so they can hear you talking, they can see your branding, they can, it's more personalized to your, like, how you're going to be working with them and what they can expect and how they're going to use the portal for your practice. So it's very personalized. So if you do record a video, which could be, say a Loom video, maybe your face is on the screen for a little bit, and then the rest of it is just you demonstrating the client portal with your test client and kind of showing them around in the portal. You can come over here to your settings, and then you're going to go to portal preferences. So I just wanted to show you where you can add that video. So you can actually do it in YouTube or Vimeo, and then I will include a help article below that shows you where to find the video ID. It's really easy. It's just actually in the URL, but you'll select your video source, you'll put the video ID, and then instead of getting the Practice Better video, they're going to see your video instead. When they first sign up, they'll get like a pop-up and it'll have your video. If you don't want them to see a video, maybe you're doing training outside of Practice Better, or maybe you're including the video in a program module. So you may not want them to get this video immediately. So there could be a variety of reasons, but if that's the case, you can click on Disable Client Portal Welcome Video, and then that'll disable that video from popping up when they first activate their account. All right, so let me save changes. Okay, so the other way that you can work with your clients is by sending forms and waivers. So hopefully over time, you're going to get a lot of this automated. So when clients book sessions with you, they can get forms automatically when they purchase a package. But if it was on the fly, then you can just come into your forms. So forms and waivers are all listed here. The only difference, this is, practice better terminology. A waiver could be an agreement, it could be a contract. So really anything that would include getting a signature, that's kind of what we refer to as a waiver. So if you want to send any of those on the fly to your clients, you could just either come into forms, and then you can say send to client, and then you could either pick one of your tags. So if you wanted to send a form to multiple clients and they were all grouped together, like I have 5 clients that are in my 8-week challenge. So if I wanted to send maybe a survey to those clients, I could just select the tag and then all 5 clients would get that survey. But for now, I'm just going to send this assumption of risk and release of liability. I'm going to send this to Addie Jones. Now, I could, if I changed my mind and wanted to add some addition, maybe I'll include this HIPAA notice. Then I can just click on send. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Another way is if you're in your client's record and you go down to forms and waivers. So again, you can see that I'm in the client record. I could just come over here, again, the red button, and I could click on that, and then I can send, select the forms that I want to send that way. Now, if there are forms that you want to send, maybe you have like a weekly update or a monthly update, any form you want to send more than one time, you can click on this and say like how often you want to send it, what time you want them to get it, when it's going to end. So this is really nice to just schedule those forms that you want them to complete maybe every week or every month. So let's go back here, confirm and send. So that's another way to send the forms. My favorite way is through automation. So anything you can automate that's just going to save you time, you can click here, and then you can either send forms after a booking is confirmed, after a package is confirmed. This is really nice because, like, let's say you have a form that, let's see. So for my follow-ups, so just for these 2 services, let's say that you want a session update form to be sent to your clients 3 days before the session automatically, so that I don't, like in the past, I would have to remember to send these forms so that when the client comes to my session, I already was able to review like what they wanted to focus on, how things have been going for them. Like getting these session update forms, it really helps your sessions to be so much more productive. But by scheduling it, so I'm going to say 3 days before the session, and then here I'm going to click that they can complete the form multiple times, because this is going to, they're going to complete, it's not just an intake form that they complete one time. So this is my coaching session update form. So again, I would put an automation name in here. This would just be, automatically send update form 3 days. This is just an internal name. Again, you select which services are going to trigger that form. So anytime my clients book either one of these sessions, then they're going to get that form 3 days before the session date and time. Okay. So huge time saver. It's one of my favorite automations. All right. So the other thing you can do with your clients is to schedule tasks. So tasks are really nice. If you're on the if you're on Practice Better, you can schedule one-time tasks, but if you're on the Pro plan or higher, you're able to schedule what are called recurring tasks. So if you want to schedule tasks for your clients, say, you know, every day or every week, they need to do certain things, whether it's, exercise or meditation or ordering supplements, things like that, you can schedule that. So if we go again, you can do it right from here, but I like to do that when I'm in my client file. I just come down here to tasks. Whoops, I wanted to pick a different client. So let's go to Kathy. Let's go to tasks. And so once you go into their tasks, you can see what tasks they already have assigned. And I can come in here and look at any of my tasks that are associated with Kathy, or I can look at all of Kathy's tasks. So when you create a task for yourself, you can associate it with a client so that I could see that here. And then I could see pending tasks or completed tasks, and then any priority high, normal, or high. But if you want to create a new task, you can say create a task for Kathy. And then I'm going to say order supplements from FullScript. And then down here, I could actually, put a link to my dispensary. Like if you're not already connected to FullScript through your protocols, I could just link out to my dispensary or put information about, how to order those supplements. This one I'm going to put high priority. It doesn't need a duration. The duration could be used for, say, if it was like exercise, meditation, sleep, things that would have a duration. Due date, I want her to order these supplements by next week. And I want her to get a reminder by Tuesday. At 8 o'clock in the morning. So Kathy's going to get not only an alert through the Practice Better app through her portal, but she'll also get an email, reminder to order her supplements. Now, if this was a recurring task, if it was, 20 minutes of yoga every day, something like that, I could just turn that on and say daily every day at 8 a.m. and set due dates, things like that here. But this particular task is just going to be a one-time task, and I can click save. And then you can see here, due on August 20th, high priority. So that is another great thing that you can do to help clients, so when your clients log on to their dash, so what we're looking at is the practitioner dashboard, but your clients also have a dashboard and they have a task widget. So these are called widgets. So when they log on, they'll go ahead and see the tab. They can just click on the task to see it right from their dashboard. All right, so we just have a couple more things I want to go over. So some of you may be wanting to run programs with your clients. So we have what are called programs, and there's two types of programs in Practice Better. We have your fixed date and we have evergreen. So fixed date programs are programs that start and end on a certain date. And these are usually like programs that you're going to do with a group. So this one's already over, but this started July 1st and ended July 12th. So if you have a group of people and it's, it's going to, each module is going to drip out on a certain date instead of like them just going through it on their own. So you can see here for this fixed date program, each of these modules opens on a date. So it's fixed date. This is available with the Pro plan and up. Now, evergreen programs, think of these as, some people call them courses. Some people, but you can call it a challenge, you can call it a program, like whatever you want to call it. This is just an in practice better evergreen. That's our term for this. And fixed aid is pro plan and up, and evergreen is plus plan and up. So plus and team, that you can run evergreens. So evergreens are based on when a client enrolls. So you don't have to, this doesn't have to be a group of people. This can be, somebody can sign up for this at any time. So if we go into the modules, you'll see it looks very similar to the fixed aid program, except instead of this module opening on a certain day, it's just going to open based on when the client enrolls in the program. So for the aromatherapy, that's day one. So once they sign up for the program, they're going to get this module right away. They won't be able to see the other modules, but this just kind of breaks up the information for them. So then day two, so you can see here, they will get an email for each day. That's a setting. So if you don't want them to get an email every day, you can turn that off. But if we just go into, I'm not going to go too into how to set up the programs. We do have a couple deep dives on YouTube. I can include the link to those. But this webinar is really just how to work with your clients. And this is just another example of how you can efficiently work with clients, like bundling a program with your one-on-one. It just helps you to scale because you can really give them that focused attention during the one-to-one session, but then you can also still engage them through group programs or evergreen programs. So here is where you're just having your description, where you say, I want this module to unlock 1 minute after the client enrolls. This is where you can add video, images, text. You can add tasks that are associated with the module. Forms and worksheets. These are forms that you would already have built, that you built in your form builder, and then you're attaching it to the module. And then you can also attach protocols. I don't have any attached in this program. But yeah, it's really nice. So if we go back here, you can we'll do a quick preview. So clients will get this information. They can view it in the client portal. They can view it in their app. They will get an email, and the email, if I go into edit, under overview, I can go into edit. This is the email that they're going to get. So it's going to say 10-day self-care challenge. Hi, Kathy. A new module is available. They can click here, and if they're already logged in, it'll just take them right to the module. So programs are awesome. Another favorite feature for me with Practice Better. You can also attach handouts. I'm trying to see, I think I have a module. So let's say you have like recipes or guides. Trying to think. Okay, so I don't have one that has any attachments at the bottom, but it's really easy to just attach PDFs or, a file at the bottom. So when they're in that module, they can click on the file and they can either view it or download it. So those are programs. And lastly, another awesome way to work with your clients and help keep them on track if they're on what we call a protocol. So if we go down here, this is protocol templates. So what we're looking at here are just the templates that you've created. Protocols are, if we go in here, I mean, they're specific to a certain topic. So it could be gut health, sleep health, detox, whatever is in your scope of practice and the types of protocols that you're working with with clients. But the reason that you would use a protocol versus just in your notes, some practitioners will just, put a plan in their notes and then share that with their clients, which is great. But this is really a time savings, because if we go in here and look at the template, okay, so you create the template, you have your focus, your duration. You can put all sorts of great stuff in here. A lot of people will have like a video talking about the protocol, what benefits the clients can expect if they comply with the protocol, maybe some challenges that they might need to overcome, just a couple minute video you can put in here. But here's kind of the meat of the protocol. So you have 3 sections in your protocol. You have your food recommendations, supplement recommendations, and lifestyle recommendations. And again, similar to programs, we have a couple great, well, there's several different videos on our YouTube channel, but there's some deep dives that really go into the nitty-gritty of how to create these. But I really wanted to show you how easy it is once you have created a protocol to share these with your clients, and how you can easily, personalize them for your clients without having to start from scratch. So you have these different sections, and let's say that you already have this put together. You can see that I have my supplements connected to Fullscript. You can see these leaves here. That's what means that these supplements are coming. This one isn't coming from Fullscript. So if you are on Fullscript, you can link to that dispensary. We also have some other dispensaries that you can integrate with. So once you get your protocol set up, then I'm going to save. So here's where the time savings is. If you want to assign a protocol to a client, you can just say create for client, and then you're going to pick the client. And see, protocols are meant to be very personalized to the client. So even if it's only just a couple little tweaks, you are personalizing it to the client's needs, and based on their condition, based on their compliance level, whatever, you can come in here. Now you've already got what was in the template. So here's your food recommendation. So maybe for Addie, she is already, maybe I just wanted to take out this reduced sugary foods because she is already so good, and she doesn't eat cookies, cakes, or Starbucks. And I just don't really want to leave that in there for her. So I'm going to take that out. Now for the supplements, you can see that I've already got all this detail in here, but maybe for Addie, her vitamin D, I need to edit this because maybe she just had a test done and her vitamin D was like extra low. And so I can come in here and say, like, for her, I want her to take 2 gels per day. So twice per day, 2 gels twice per day with breakfast and with dinner. Okay, so I only needed to make that one change for her, but everything else I want to keep the same. So I don't have to retype all of this. I don't have to, copy and paste it into my note, or, if you have protocols that are in a PDF, then you can't really change it, then it's not really personalized. So then you could come down here, maybe she already doesn't have caffeine, she never drinks caffeine or has caffeine, so I'm going to take that one out. So you can either edit, delete any of these. And then I'm also giving her some supporting documents. So these are just PDFs that I've attached to this protocol. So the 21-day real food reset, mindfulness document, and a couple other things. So you can attach, like if you have some like a recipe booklet or any kind of informational handouts, things like that, you can include. once I have finished personalizing this to Addie, and maybe for Addie, I want to keep her on this for maybe 16 weeks. And I'm going to click save. Now, when I click save so maybe if I'm not ready to share this with her, I could just save it as a draft. If I made a lot of changes to it, and I'm finding that now with like so many clients, I'm kind of making the same changes. After I made those changes, I could actually save it as a new template. Instead of like recreating a template, I could just save this as a new template and work off of that. But I'm going to click save and publish. And when I do that, it's going to say that this is going to be shared with your client. And do I want to send a confirmation, a notification to the client that this protocol is available? Or do I want to skip this and maybe I just want to share it with her and tell her about it if we have a session coming up, say the next day. I don't really want to alert her to it because we're going to go over it on our session. So that could be a reason why you might click this. But I'm going to say send confirmation. I'm going to say publish. And now Addie is going to get an alert that she has a new protocol. So if I'm in her file and I go down to protocols, I see that she has this getting started protocol. I can always go in here and preview the protocol. I can come in here, maybe in 4 months or 16 weeks, I just want to duplicate this protocol and maybe make a couple new tweaks to it. I could do that. So that's just another way that, and actually, so once we take a look at this, the other nice thing too is that the clients will see when they open their protocol, you can see it here, is that they will also get this little supplement chart. So they can print this out. So when they're looking at their protocol, they can click on download and save it to their computer or print it out. Some clients like to have the protocol in, just print it out in the kitchen, and then they can see here, this is what they're taking with breakfast, lunch, dinner. So this chart is automatically generated based on how you set up your supplements.
Okay, now let's take a look at a few ways you can communicate with your clients via the Practice Better platform. The first way is what we call secure chat or messenger. So it's kind of similar to like text messaging, except you're going through the Practice Better platform. So it's all in one place and very secure. So you can just click up here to get to the messenger area. Another place that you can get to it would be down here in this little messenger app. So you'll see I have some group chats in here, but if I scroll down, I can get to my individual clients. So if you click on a client, then you could start chatting with the client here. The other place, let me close this down, is actually in the client file. So if you're looking through some notes, or you're just happen to already be in the file and you realize you want to send them a message, you can just click here. And by doing that from the client record, it's going to take you right to their name in this messenger area. So once you're in here, you can just, type your message. You can see we already have some messages here. And you can just so this message, if you click on the 3 dots and you want to pin, so I actually pin this message up here. So you might have, over working with clients over time, you may have a lot of messages in here. And so anything that's really important that you want to quickly reference, you can pin that over here to pinned messages. And then when you don't need it to be pinned anymore, you can just click on unpin. You can also click on mark message unread. So maybe you're just kind of going through and you read it, but you just don't have time to respond right now. So you can, mark it as unread, similar to in your email. so that you can come back to it at a later time. So once you type in your message, so I'm going to send her another message, just checking in today. So once you type your message, you can either, if you want to add emojis just to make it fun, you can either click send to send it right away, or you can schedule this. So, if you were doing checking your messages in the evening and you didn't want to bother your client in the evening, you could schedule this to go out in the morning. So these are the individual chats. Now we do have a group chat feature. So if you're on the Pro plan or higher, you have the ability to set up group chats. And I have a couple set up from my 10-day self-care challenge. So a group chat is very similar to a Facebook group. Obviously, you're not getting all the Facebook distractions and ads and all of that. It keeps it all here in one place. So if you are, running a group program, you can add the group chat here in Practice Better, or you can even just have a group chat without running a program. So it's just a chat that includes more than one person, and you can set it up similar to like a Facebook feed where you can post photos and then participants can comment back, or you can just set it up as a direct kind of chat where people just go back and forth. So there's just two ways that you can set it up. All right, so that is where the chat is. If you do want to include documents, you can attach files just by clicking on this little add button. And if your clients send you files, like if they sent you, say, a lab report, any kind of file update that you want to save, you can find those in the shared documents area. So this will include any documents that were shared in the secure chat. So the other feature, now this is available on the Practice Better Plus plan or higher. This is called broadcast. So this is a way to send out messages to, groups of people in your Practice Better platform. So if you wanted to send a brand new broadcast, you would just click on this little plus. I'm going to show you one that's already set up. And this is my 8-week challenge that I just ran. My participants are starting to graduate from that challenge. So I have scheduled an email. So this will be sent out as an email to the graduates of my 8-week challenge. So I could have this sent immediately, but I'm scheduling it at a later date. So this is when everybody's going to be graduating. This is going to be in the subject of the email that they're going to receive. And then the title will just be at the top of the email. And then you can come in here and customize what's going to be in the email. So I did pull in a placeholder, which is their first name. So each person, it'll be personalized to them. And then you can just put your content here in the email. You can include any links and, just personalize this. Once you do that, you click next, and then you're going to select who this broadcast is going to go to. So you could just select individual people, but to make it really easy, if you are using tags, so I have a tag called 8-week challenge. And when participants enrolled in that challenge, they were automatically, through automations, I set it up so they would automatically be tagged with 8-week challenge. So now when I go to send out a broadcast, I can leverage the tags, and that just saves me time from, having to come down here and figure out who all is. I mean, if you had 50 people in a challenge, you would have to individually click on their names. But now I just have one click. Anybody with this tag is going to get this email. And then I just click next. And then I just confirm that these are the participants that are going to receive that email. And then I say schedule. And so at this date and time, that email will go out to all the people that just graduated. So you can send those out to like tell your clients that you're going to be out of the office for a certain time, or maybe you have a new program that you're promoting. So this is a great way just to get information out to groups of people that you're working with. So let's look at the other way that you can work with clients, and this is through video chat. So we have the Practice Better Telehealth. We also offer an integration with Zoom. So where you would find that is in your settings, third-party integrations, and then you would come down here to Zoom. So this is if you already have a Zoom account and you want to connect it to Practice Better. So you can use the Practice Better Telehealth for your one-to-one telehealth video chats. But some of our users prefer to use Zoom either for one-to-one, or if you are running group, video chats or group video through Practice Better, you would need to connect Zoom, since the built-in Practice Better Telehealth is designed for one-to-one video chat. So I offer some group programs over video, like yoga and meditation and a cooking class. So there's generally more than one other person that's going to be on there. And that's when I use Zoom for that. And I'll show you where you can select your defaults here in a few minutes. So where you would launch your telehealth session, there's a few different places you could do that. So you can see here on my dashboard, I have my upcoming sessions. So if I click on one of these sessions, I can look at the details here. You'll see that the Zoom link is automatically generated when you or your client books a session that was set to Zoom as the default. So you don't have to go over to Zoom and schedule that meeting. It's automatically going to generate this link, and this will also be sent to the client. It will be included in the reminder emails as well. So all you have to do from here is click on Start Zoom Meeting. This happened to be set up as a Zoom meeting, but I'll show you, the difference between. So if we go back here and let me see one of these. So this one is a Practice Better. So if it says Zoom, then it's going to be a Zoom session. If it's Practice Better, it'll just say Start Session, and you won't see the Zoom link down here. So that is one way to go in and start the session. The other way would be to go up here to My Schedule and then to go to My Bookings. So these are all of your upcoming bookings that you have. And as you scroll down, you'll see like this first one is a Zoom meeting, and I just set that up to show you what it would look like. But typically I use Practice Better for all my one-to-one. So these are all online video chats. So I can just come in here and click on Start Session to start that session. The other way you can do it is if you're in a client record, say you were in here just kind of reviewing your notes and reviewing some forms before you got on the session, you can just go over here to Bookings and Packages. And then these sessions are specific to the client because I'm in her record right now. So I could just come over here and start the session right from being in her record. So those are some ways. Now I am you will see some resources listed here below the video. These will also be included in our replay emails, but I don't have time to get into all the details about using video chat on Practice Better, but you will receive a link to these help articles that really go into detail about how to start your session, troubleshooting, like how to mute and unmute if you want to share your screen. So there's a lot of things that you can do in the Practice Better telehealth, and these articles really lay this out. There's another one I'm going to include on using Zoom for telehealth. So there's Zoom, and then there's the Practice Better telehealth feature. But I did want to show you where you would go to initiate those meetings if they're set up to be a video chat. So now you do have some settings here. So if we go into all settings for telehealth and messaging, so if you go in here, you'll see that you can find all your telehealth settings right here. So this is where you can set your master default. So if you want to use Practice Better for all or most of your telehealth sessions, you can just select this as your master default, or you can select Zoom. So when you set up all of your services, depending on what you have set here, that's going to default into your services. But in the individual services, you can override that. So if you had Practice Better set up here, but you had a group service or another, just one service that you wanted to change to Zoom as the default, you can just change that directly in the service when you're setting that up. And then here you can decide how you want the video chat to open. So you can have it open in a pop-up window. You can have it open in a new browser tab like you see here. So it would just open a new tab, or you can have it open in the same browser tab. These two are probably better because if you're in, you don't want it to open, like if you're getting ready to take notes, you don't want it to change the screen. So I typically use a new browser tab. So I have it open over on this tab, and then it doesn't override the tab that I'm already on. And then in the chat messages, this is where I'm not going to get into all these settings, but this is where you can, personalize how you want to use the chat. You can set up an autoresponder. So if you're going to be out of the office or certain days of the week that you're not in the office, you can set that up so that if somebody sends you a chat, they'll get a automated message sent back to them, letting them know that you're out of the office or when you plan to reply to their message. And then down here, this is where you can, if you have clients that you don't want to message you, like you could just uncheck this and they won't have access to the direct chat. So some of our users actually, the default is the chat is turned off and maybe they charge, maybe they have a certain extra service that they charge for the ability to chat with the practitioner. So this is just where you would go in order to turn on or off the chat. So that is where the settings are, again, up at your gear, and then you come down here to telehealth and messaging. So those are the two other ways that you can communicate with your clients in Practice Better. So I hope you enjoyed the webinar. I hope this was helpful in sharing how you can easily get started and work with your clients on Practice Better. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions. In addition, there will be resources listed below related to the topics that we discussed in today's webinar. And thank you for joining us.